Xiangjie City. After Luo Feng annihilated Yansu's complete avatar and 2 weaker ones, he also collected the spoils of war. A pair of void god cones, Yansu must be incredibly upset. Luo Feng considered himself quite merciful. He did not provoke him, yet he deliberately targeted him. Merely taking his treasures was a minor punishment. If Yansu did not realize and continued to harass and retaliate relying on his clone technique, once Luo Feng himself became a godly king and his spiritual will was strong enough, he would not mind using the Lai Yuan technique to completely dispatch him. Of course, if Yansu stopped, Luo Feng would also not spend any more effort on him. The most crucial now is the world entrance. At a thought from Luo Feng, the vast dark world rapidly shrunk to just a few billion kilometers in scope, encasing the world's entrance within a secret grand hall deep underground of the Garrison mansion, at the core of the whole town. This world entrance, originally sealed by a formation, Yansu was tasked with controlling it. But having lost its controller, the array's power weakened, and the creatures with primordial bloodlines inside immediately sensed it. I don't know how to control this formation either. Deciphering a formation is no easy task. Yansu was also appointed as a guardian general, and the flame-wind ancient country had given him an array talisman, entrusting him with the method to control it. Buzz. The thick dark world membranous wall sealed the entire world's entrance. Moreover, a mighty black river roared and enveloped the surroundings of the world entrance. Luo Feng was also standing above the black river. Thud. 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 Having lost its formation controller and its power greatly reduced, some creatures with primordial bloodlines were forcefully bearing the suppression of the formation, attacking the dark world membranous wall at the entrance. Suddenly, a claw instantly penetrated the dark world membranous wall. Outside the dark world membranous wall, however, the rolling black river suppressed it. The claw was forced back. Sounds of loud explosions. Under the significantly weakened dual suppression of the formation and the dark world membranous wall, those creatures with primordial bloodlines managed to barely penetrate the dark world membranous wall, causing loud noises that shook the ground. But the black river rolled back and forth, easily pushing them back. The dark world membranous wall also healed in the blink of an eye, continuing to encapsulate the creatures with primordial bloodlines. I thought I would need to intervene personally. Luo Feng watched the scene. His intervention this time was also to clarify some detailed situations regarding the suppressed world entrance. This world, named Shangja. Inside Shangja, were some creatures with primordial bloodlines cultivated by the primogenitor Yan Feng. Primordial bloodlines are originally from the true primordial life beyond the braided cage. The bloodline being too strong and terrifying, even a godly king, if touched directly, would likely be completely contaminated and lose themselves. Therefore, primogenitor Yan Feng, ancestral god of thunder, and others nurtured some special creatures, many of which are not native to the land of origin. Through the natural propagation of these creatures, they continuously dilute and reduce the primordial bloodline. As in Xiangjia's interior, live what are known as Primal Chaos Realm level creatures. Like the golden scale beetle carcass that Master once gave to Luo Feng, it was a very powerful Primal Chaos Realm creature. What are clearly Primal Chaos Realm creatures, yet possess strength comparable to the ordinary godly king. Inside Xiangjie, there are Primal Chaos Realm level creatures with primordial bloodlines. These belong to the weakest creatures with primordial bloodlines, and their bloodlines are the thinnest, Luo Feng thought. That's why they only assigned a transcendence of Primal Chaos Realm to guard here. The Flame-Wind ancient country also has some creatures with stronger primordial bloodlines, born with emperor-level strength. But those creatures are heavily imprisoned, all personally guarded by powerful godly kings. According to intelligence, Primal Chaos Realm creatures, even with primordial bloodlines because of their low intelligence, generally do not match the Primal Chaos Realm cultivators who cultivate primordial bloodlines, Luo Feng thought. Transcendents of Primal Chaos Realm such as Desert Wind City Lord, after all, have high intelligence and high realm. They cultivate entry into primordial bloodlines, effectively becoming another kind of primordial bloodline creature. Suppressing Primal Chaos Realm creatures is quite effortless, Luo Feng thought, and a massive amount of black river merged into the dark world membranous wall. When fully 50 billion streams of black river merged into the dark world, those creatures with primordial bloodlines could no longer smash through the membranous wall. I had prepared to intervene personally. Even prepared using the Star Tower to suppress the world entrance. It seems now, it's unnecessary. Luo Feng sat down cross-legged. He had stormed into the border town, killed Yansu. The Flame-Wind ancient country could mostly just administer some punishments according to the law, which wasn't much. After all, conflicts among the powerful are quite normal in the land of origin. But if it caused a group of creatures with primordial bloodlines to escape, the punishment would be severe. Time passed. One by one, the creatures with primordial bloodlines, originally still furiously attacking the dark world membranous wall, but since they couldn't break through continuously with low intelligence, these crazed creatures soon left. Now let's see what punishment the Flame-Wind ancient country will have, Luo Feng thought, while his avatar Far in Chu capital immediately went to visit his master, Emperor Chu. Marquis Chu Ying, both individual subtasks ranked first, and the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl task ranked second. Emperor Chu Yu, one individual subtask ranked third and the other fourth, with the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl task being absolutely first. Marquis Chu Feng, one individual subtask ranked second and the other third, with a Blood Spirit Golden Pearl task ranking 4th due to the intervention of the Lord of Yuanxiu Mansion. These are the top 3. Ranking at the bottom is Marquis Chu Yuan, who due to cultivating the Primordial Bloodline, ranked 7th in both individual subtasks assessing insight and potential. The Blood Spirit Golden Pearl task was 0, leaving him still at the bottom. In the Flame Wind Ancient Country, it is generally forbidden to cultivate the Primordial Bloodline in the Primal Chaos Realm. Even at the first realm of Godly King, there are very few who cultivate the Primordial Bloodline. One must pass through numerous trials to qualify for cultivation. The threshold is extremely high. Because the threshold is extremely high and cultivation must be cautious, no one in Flame Wind Ancient Country who cultivated the Primordial Bloodline has lost control. This is also a difference between the two ancient countries. The Flame Wind Ancient Country has always been wary of the Primordial Bloodline, cultivating it cautiously. Even the contemporary Emperor, Emperor Fu, ascended using the Primordial Bloodline without losing control, yet he ultimately chose reincarnation to abandon this path, not relying on any external force and reascended as Emperor through the path of formations. From the attitude of the higher-ups, one can see the caution towards the Primordial Bloodline. The Thunder Ancient Country on the other hand fully embraces the Primordial Bloodline, allowing beings in the Primal Chaos Realm to start cultivating it, and godly kings can cultivate it even deeper. Mountain-sitting guest joined the Thunder Ancient Country because the threshold there is very low. Brother Luo, I'll be going back first. Emperor Chu Yu stood up. I'll be heading to the palace of Emperor Chu to receive resources soon. Go ahead, Luo Feng smiled. Emperor Chu Yu left immediately. In a vast world. A figure sat cross-legged on the ground. The entire world operated with vast different formations interlocking with each other. Based on the 10,000 formation map and primordial space fragmented array 8 scrolls, you want to advance further? This figure pondered when suddenly, a thought transmitted through causality arrived from afar. Emperor Fu. A domineering and unrestrained voice belonged to the first emperor of the Flame Wind Ancient Country, Emperor Yen. Brother Emperor Yen, what's the matter? Emperor Fu asked. Guarding the border city Xiangjie City is a task for my Emperor Yen lineage. Initially, I dispatched Yen Su to guard Xiangjie City, and Yen Su has guarded it flawlessly to this day. Emperor Yan's voice came, but recently that Luo he directly attacked the border city, killed all avatars of the Guardian General Yen Su inside the city. It even caused a riot of Primordial Bloodline beings. Brother Emperor Yen, this was originally a task for your Emperor Yen lineage? Emperor Fu smiled. I thought you had discussed it with Emperor Chu. The entire Imperial clan was busy with the heavenly task until recently, which is why I am only dealing with this matter now, Emperor Yen said. I believe that attacking the border city Xiangjie City must be severely punished. After all, it suppresses a world portal, a world personally opened by the Ancestor, his painstaking effort. I know it should be severely punished, Emperor Fu said. This Luo he has many avatars, ordinary punishment is trivial for him, ineffective for disciplining, Emperor Yen said. I think making him guard the Lava Old Demon might be suitable. Emperor Fu frowned. The Lava Old Demon, among the godly king-level primordial bloodline beings cultivated by the ancestor Yen Feng, was an extremely powerful old demon, with strength comparable to the Emperor's, which is why he was imprisoned separately. Just considering the primordial bloodline, the Lava Old Demon is stronger than the Emperor's and highly contaminative. Guarding the Lava Old Demon with Luo He's strength, it's easy to be contaminated, Emperor Fu stated. The place of imprisonment is still very safe, Emperor Yen said. Brother Emperor Yen, I won't lie to you. Half a century ago, Emperor Chu had already spoken to me about this matter, Emperor Fu said. He said his direct disciple Luo he made a mistake, he admits it. His punishment must follow the laws of the Flame Wind Ancient Country. If it exceeds the range of the laws, he will defy punishment. Even escalating the matter to the Ancestor. Defy punishment? Emperor Yen was somewhat shocked. Emperors do have the right to defy punishment. Some decisions made by the reigning emperor can be too much, and other emperors can choose to defy punishment. They could even escalate it to the Ancestor. To defy punishment and escalate to the Ancestor for such a trivial matter? This Emperor Chu has always been impulsive. Emperor Yen was quite annoyed. Emperor Chu never cultivated the primordial bloodline. He has been domineering and protective from a young age, never caring about the grand scheme. Always ready to break the sky. But it's also because of this, Emperor Chu's cultivation in the Great Tao of Destruction origin has been quite smooth. Emperor Chu makes a lot of sense. No matter what, we must stay within the legal limits, Emperor Fu stated. Otherwise, if he really defies punishment and it escalates to the Ancestor, it won't look good on us. Then what do you suggest as punishment? Emperor Yen felt helpless. Facing someone who flips the table over trivial disagreement and even defies punishment, what can he do? Since Xiangjie City currently has no Guardian General, penalize Luo He to guard it, Emperor Fu stated. Let him guard for 10,000 eras and he receives no merit points. Garrison duty at the border is generally a tough task, typically with high reward in merit points. As a punishment, naturally the merit is erased. Make it 10,000 eras then, Emperor Yen said. Alright then 10,000 eras, Emperor Fu agreed. Chu Capital, Palace of Emperor Chu. Luo Feng came here to see his master. Your sentence has been delivered, guarding Xiangjie City for 10,000 eras. Emperor Chu looked at Luo Feng. Although the punishment is harsh, it is still within legal bounds, considered a normal punishment. Luo Feng nodded. thank you master. Within the normal range of punishment, Luo Feng was not worried. There's no need to thank me, Emperor Chu said. If you weren't my disciple, Emperor Yen wouldn't have targeted you, so this is my responsibility. What kind of joke would it be if I couldn't even protect my disciple? This is the Xiangjie World Entrance Array Talisman. Emperor Chu waved his hand, and a golden array talisman flew toward Luo Feng. Luo Feng took the golden array talisman and received two major pieces of information from it. The method to control the talisman and the method to control the entire array of Xiangjie City. With a clear method given Luo Feng's realm, he naturally mastered it easily. With your strength, coupled with the array, garrisoning Xiangjie City will naturally be a breeze, Emperor Chu said. The only issue is that you must garrison for 10,000 eras. This was personally adjudicated by Emperor Husband, and even if you became a godly king, I'm afraid the term cannot be shortened. I have many avatars so it doesn't matter, Luo Feng said. Emperor Chu nodded in satisfaction. Go then. Luo Feng respectfully departed immediately. The news that Luo Feng was punished to garrison Xiangjie City for 10,000 eras spread quickly among the upper echelons of the Flame-Wind ancient country, and many from the Imperial clan and first-class marquises soon learned of it. Brother Luo He, Emperor Chu Yu, feeling quite guilty, had just collected the heavenly task resources from the palace of Emperor Chu and immediately went to visit. It's all because of my blood spirit golden pearl task that has led Brother Luo He and Yen Su to become enemies, and now even resulted in a garrisoning punishment of 10,000 eras at Xiangjie City, Emperor Chu Yu said, looking at Luo Feng. Brother Luo He hadn't taken any benefits from him for this task, yet ended up heavily punished, naturally making Emperor Chu Yu feel extremely apologetic. Luo Feng shook his head. Don't worry about it. I couldn't stand the evil anymore, so I took the initiative to head to Xiangjie City, eliminated a few of Yen Su's avatars, and seized his godly king weapon. That's how I vented my frustration. No matter what, all these things happened because of me. Emperor Chu Yu suddenly produced a golden bottle. This is a bottle of purifying spirit liquid I received while fetching the heavenly task resources, which is beneficial for understanding the great Tao and enhancing the spiritual will. This bottle of purifying spirit liquid was the most precious among the resources he obtained, worth nearly half of this harvest. Emperor Chu Yu felt that without Luo Feng's help, he might not have been third, so it was only right to give his most valuable resource to a good friend. Beneficial for the great Tao and spiritual will? Luo Feng did not refuse and directly accepted it. Thanks. It is I who should thank you, Brother Luo He, Emperor Chu Yu said with a smile. This time in the heavenly task, the first rank gets the most resources and I am second, having half as much as Marquis Chuing. The one who ranked third only has 1/3 of my share. The next 4 even less. That's how it is in the Flame-Wind ancient country's imperial clan. The more outstanding one is, the more they focus on nurturing. I should head back now. Getting second place has also made me much busier, Emperor Chu Yu said. Luo Feng nodded, watching him depart, then looked at the bottle of purifying spirit liquid in his hand, which was an unrecorded treasure in the inheritance palace, probably exclusive to the imperial elite. In fact, even Emperor Chu Yu only received this bottle due to the heavenly task. Brother Chu Yu, we still have long days ahead, Luo Feng whispered softly. Garrisoning Xiangjie City for 10,000 eras? Becoming a godly king won't shorten the punishment period. Luo Feng didn't mind at all. He accepted his punishment. On the frontier of the Flame-Wind ancient country, Xiangjie City, Garrison Mansion. Greetings, Garrison General. A vast throng of subordinates bowed respectfully without exception. Luo Feng sat in the main seat with Morosa, Moyu Qingyan, and the Primordial Ancestor standing to one side. In typical cities, the roles of city lord and military commander are held by two different powerhouses. However, if a transcendent of the Primal Chaos Realm garrisoned a city, they would typically hold all authority. Upon the news that Luo Feng, the first to transcend the Primal Chaos Realm, was responsible for garrisoning Xiangjie City, preparations to receive him had long been made within the city. From today onward, he who formerly served as deputy guardian of Xiangjie City, Luo Feng said, looking at those below, his orders are my orders. Do you all understand? Understood. Not a single subordinate raised an objection. Take your seats, Luo Feng nodded. This large group of subordinates included more than 300 eternal true gods and over 1,000 true gods of void space who held important positions. In front of Luo He, the first to transcend the Primal Chaos Realm, all they needed to do was obey. After the banquet had dispersed. Primordial Ancestor, I'll be depending on you for the many affairs of Xiangjie City in the future, Luo Feng said, walking side by side with the Primordial Ancestor. I have many illusionary avatars living different lives in the land of origin, the Primordial Ancestor replied with a smile, and now to manage a large city is yet another identity. It suits my cultivation well. By the way, your disciple Moyu Qingyan can also become more involved in the city's affairs, the Primordial Ancestor suggested. Experiencing more will also serve as heart-honing. Okay. Luo Feng smiled. I haven't really taught my disciple much myself. It's all been you guys teaching him. Moyu Qingyan's talent was indeed quite ordinary. After becoming a true god of void space by following the law lineage, progress became even harder. After discussions between the Primordial Ancestor, Morosa, and Luo Feng's final decision, Moyu Qingyan had transitioned to the bloodline cultivation system. With Moyu Qingyan's talents, if he solely followed the path of laws, to become an eternal true god in this lifetime would be quite an achievement. Following the bloodline cultivation system with the support of Luo Feng and Morosa, becoming an eternal true god would be relatively easy. There was even a sliver of hope for advancing to the Primal Chaos Realm. The true body of the Primordial Ancestor is indeed indistinguishable from his illusionary avatars, Luo Feng thought as he watched the Primordial Ancestor leave. Whether the one who accompanied him to Xiangjie City was his true body or an avatar, Luo Feng did not have the confidence to discern. Now, his true body and illusionary avatars were outwardly indistinguishable. The same physical body, the same aura. Primordial Ancestor, if it were not for the oppression of the primordial cosmos with his strength, he would have probably succeeded in passing through reincarnation long ago, Luo Feng mused. With a step, he entered the hidden Great Hall deep underground. Within the hidden Great Hall was the world entrance to another realm. Luo Feng looked at the world entrance. Now with array talismans in place, he could, using the formation, prevent primordial bloodline creatures from escaping. This world harbors a large population of primordial bloodline creatures. Luo Feng's eyes burned with fervor. Guarding Xiangjie City for tens of thousands of eras would typically earn roughly 1,000,000 merit points. But since Luo Feng was here as a punishment, he naturally wouldn't receive any. Losing 1,000,000 merit points did not concern Luo Feng. Primal Chaos Realm creatures with primordial bloodlines are relatively weak, perfect for my research. Having conceived the concept of the Trinity form, Luo Feng naturally wanted to study the vastly stronger 10 Directions world form life structure next. The Golden Scale Beetle was a Primal Chaos Realm creature with a primordial bloodline, one of the most perfected among them. A single corpse was worth 1,000,000 merit points. However, as a guardian, there is a strict prohibition against stealing primordial bloodline creatures or slaughtering them. Luo Feng was aware of this, a severe decree. The formation sealing that world was always recording all scenes. Stealing, slaughtering primordial bloodline creatures were grave offenses, far more serious than killing a few of Yensu's avatars. If it's merely a scuffle, a beating, it's not an issue, Luo Feng said with a smile, since the primordial bloodline creatures routinely fought and struggled among themselves, which also promoted the evolution of their bloodlines. I'll just frequently give those primordial bloodline creatures a beating, make them behave and allow me to study their blood, scales and feathers. They should find that acceptable, Luo Feng pondered. The materials from a single golden scale beetle corpse were not enough. More materials were needed for more extensive research. Xiangjie City's knights were equally bustling. Since the news spread that Luo He, the first to transcend the Primal Chaos Realm, was taking charge of guarding Xiangjie City for an era, many forces began to invest more into Xiangjie City. Several family branches moved here to take root, and the prices for cave mansions within the city soared. Being able to live safely for an era is a luxury for many cultivators, Morosa said from the tower of the Garrison mansion, looking over the city. Luo Feng nodded. Although true gods have a lifespan of 30,000 eras and the true god of void space even possesses limitless lifespan, in the land of origin where conflicts and struggles are rife, cultivators can easily become unintended victims. The years one truly lives tend to be much shorter by comparison. Even for great families, they would branch out and root themselves in different cities. After all, if they were to gather in one place, they could all be wiped out in an instant should they be impacted by the clash of some terrifying entities. Luo Feng sensed something and turned his head to look to the side where a bald figure made of light was condensing. The bald figure smiled at Luo Feng. Being looked at by the other party made Luo Feng feel as if he were being stared down by a terrifying monster, one that could crush him at any moment. Even though his true self possessed 9 billion black rivers, he felt completely incapable of resisting the other. Luo Sa, you stand down first, Luo Feng instructed. Yes, master. Morosa looked at the bald figure and felt a tremble in his heart. Very terrifying. Morosa could feel that even if he exploded with all his might, he would be thoroughly annihilated by the other party, not leaving even ash behind. This was definitely not a power that one at the first realm of Godly King could possess. Luo He, the bald figure stood there, smiling at Luo Feng. I am the Walker, the Deputy Palace Master of the Twin Realms Palace. I've heard that in the Twin Realms Palace, the highest positions are the Palace Master and the Deputy Palace Master. I didn't expect the Deputy Palace Master to personally visit me today, Luo Feng exclaimed in surprise. As one of the most influential forces in the land of origin, the status of the Deputy Palace Master of the Twin Realms Palace was self-evident. The bald figure laughed. This also represents the importance the Twin Realms Palace places on you. You are the first to create a secret technique and achieve transcendence of Primal Chaos Realm. With such perception and potential, once you become a Godly King and accumulate a little, you will be at the invincible level of the first realm of Godly King. At that time, you can become an official member of our Twin Realms Palace. Invincible level of the first realm of Godly King? Luo Feng understood as well. Many Godly Kings, even if they train to the limit of their inheritance, are far from touching this level. For example, mastering the first calamity of the 8 tribulations life form gives strong life-saving abilities, but the prowess in direct combat is just considered extremely strong among Godly Kings. Mastering the first volume of the extermination of 72 blades yields fearsome destructive power, but it's too weak in other areas to be considered invincible in the first realm of Godly King. Invincible in the first realm of Godly King. Comparable to the ordinary second realm of Godly King, it's enough to be a dominant power in the land of origin, which is also the threshold for entering the Twin Realms Palace. So we came to invite you in advance and you can first become an outer member. After becoming a Godly King, You will soon be an official member, the bald figure said. In our Twin Realms Palace, besides me and the Palace Master, the identities of other members are unknown to each other. When gathering, it is in the virtual world of the Twin Realms Palace that our thoughts meet, each by a code name. We unite to break the monopoly of the two ancient countries over many resources, said the bald figure. Monopoly? Luo Feng listened. You are a transcendent of Primal Chaos Realm and don't currently pose a threat to the godly kings. Therefore, the godly kings of the Flame-Wind ancient country are quite friendly to you, said the bald figure. But once it involves their interests, they'll bare their fangs. Luo Feng listened, and he certainly knew that the struggle between the 13 branches of the Imperial clan was fierce. What is the most precious resource in the land of origin? The bald figure asked. Is it the resources brought back from outside the braided cage by the primogenitor Yen Feng and Thunder Primogenitor? No. It's the resources left by the Primordial Ancestor. The resources left by the Primordial Ancestor? Luo Feng was shocked. I have personally received guidance from the Primordial Ancestor, which was my greatest fortune. The bald figure looked at Luo Feng. The Primordial Ancestor left quite a few resources in the land of origin, but the majority of these resources have been occupied by the two ancient countries. We cultivators who are not of the Imperial clan, if we don't unite, won't even be able to snatch the remaining parts. The bald figure looked at Luo Feng. You are a direct disciple of Emperor Chu, but is it useful? The resources of the Imperial clan in the Flame-Wind ancient country can only be distributed to the Imperial clan. Non-Imperial clan guest elders must make contributions to exchange for resources. Even for the most important resources, they will not exchange them despite the contributions, the bald figure said. But these resources left by the Primordial Ancestor are for all cultivators. Of course, we are qualified to contend. Luo Feng listened. You should have noticed that there are very few godly kings who join the Flame-Wind ancient country completely, said the bald figure. Luo Feng acknowledged this point. Many guest elder godly kings maintain the status of guest elder while still setting up divine kingdoms and establishing their own forces outside. There are indeed very few who completely join the Flame-Wind ancient country. You should be able to see that there are 13 emperors in the Flame-Wind ancient country and 9 monarchs in the Thunder ancient country. But, becoming emperor or monarch, only members of the imperial clans of the two ancient countries can, said the bald figure. All cultivators from other races, including the direct disciples of Primogenitor Yen Feng and Thunder Primogenitor, haven't reached the strength of emperor or monarch. What? Is it because their talent and insight are not enough? It's because the resources that can make one an emperor or monarch are only given to the imperial clan. The bald figure looked at Luo Feng. I can tell you that the resources left by the Primordial Ancestor include some for godly kings and below. Luo Feng was intrigued. The godly kings and below could also access the resources left by the Primordial Ancestor? The Lai Yuan technique should be considered as such. But have you had access to them? The bald figure looked at Luo Feng. Will your master Emperor Chu give them to you? He won't give them to you, because he has no authority to do so. The resources of the Primordial Ancestor are the most precious, and the core must be given to the Imperial clan. Only the more peripheral ones will be given to you, so-called direct disciples, the bald figure said. Don't believe me, you can go ask your master and see what he says. I can tell you that every transcendent of Primal Chaos Realm in the Imperial clan has the right to enter some of the domains left by the Primordial Ancestor. The bald figure looked at Luo Feng. As the first among the transcendents of Primal Chaos Realm, you haven't even heard of it, have you? Regarding this matter, you can also ask your master. Emperor Chu's disposition, he won't hide it from you. As time goes by, as you become a godly king, you will understand, said the bald figure. These are not secrets. As the bald figure spoke, he casually threw out a talisman. Once you've thought it through, you can crush the talisman at any time to become an outer disciple of our Twin Realms Palace. I can promise you that as long as you agree to join the Twin Realms Palace, I will immediately send you to one of the domains left by the Primordial Ancestor. In our Twin Realms Palace, we believe in equal status for all, cooperation with each other and fair exchange. But the first opportunity you get to enter the domain, consider it a gift from me. Luo Feng received the talisman and said, I'll think about it. The bald figure smiled and nodded, then dissolved into nothingness without a sound. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming great videos.